Outside of the United States, guns are not common.
Interesting.
So if you want to be undercover and blend in, guess what you don't ever carry?
A gun?
So,
Wow.
I mean, I hate to break your heart with James Bond, but yeah, you don't carry guns. We don't carry guns anywhere if you're operating undercover. If you're operating in an area of active hostilities, like a war zone, even then you will carry like maybe a 9mm. You'll carry something that's consistent and congruent with what people carry in that active area of hostility, but you've got bodyguards, right? So when a CA officer is working in an area that's an active, hot conflict zone, they'll have a group of people whose job is to protect that officer. So you still are trained not to pull your gun until essentially everybody else is dead.
Wow. Yeah, Hollywood portrays the life of a spy probably very differently than how reality unfolds.
Yeah, and it makes sense, because if you just think about it, a spy is supposed to be executing a clandestine operation. Clandestine means secret. Secret means not discoverable. Daniel Craig is quite discoverable, right? Think about every James Bond. They're dashing, they're handsome, they're charismatic. They usually are undercover as some kind of wealthy, like public-facing individual, and then they inevitably end up in a boat or a car shooting out of the window, killing people on the side of the street. It's very hard to self-evacuate from a location after you've committed that many crimes. So for us, the pillar of professional intelligence is getting in, doing your operation and getting out, and having nobody ever even know you were there.
Fascinating. How does being a spy change the way that you view life? I mean, I'm sure like even walking into a crowded room, like that's a fundamentally different experience for you as it would be for me.
Yeah, it changes your life in so many ways. It's such a huge question. I'm only going to kind of jump into one small area. So going through intelligence training starts with retraining your brain, right? Creating something called a mission mindset, rather than what we all have, which is called a conventional mindset. So the very first 2 or 3 days of training is basically, here's your conventional mindset, here's what conventional mindset means, here are the pillars of conventional mindset, and here's what we're going to turn you into, mission mindset. And just to give you kind of like a tangible example of what that feels like, it's like being at an optometrist and they switch through all these different lenses, and then eventually there's a lens that they land on, and like the world comes to life.
Whoa.
Have you had that experience with getting your eyes tested?
Yeah, getting an eye exam. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, there it is. Everything's clear and sharp and crisp, and you're like, how have I been living in this world and I've never seen it this way?
Wow.
That's what it's like when they first start training you. So they have to get you there, because once you have seen the world through the eyes of a spy, you'll do anything to keep that clarity.
So fresh on me.